You know, let me tell you something. Let me tell you guys something right now, man. You know, usually, at least sometimes, I'd usually have my Raw reviews live here in the channel. You know, my buddy Adam and I, we watch Raw live together every Monday, and we watch Raw every week live, SmackDown every week live, and NXT and AEW and all every week live and all. And with Raw and all, with Monday Night Raw and all, it's like my buddy Adam and I. We usually watch Raw live together every Monday during the show when Raw is live every Monday. When Monday Night Raw is live every week on Monday on USA Network and all. And after that, and then after with that, and then after that and all, Adam, and Adam and I doing the Raw views together live here in the Furious Nation channel. I know Adam's not been here to do that with me here live as of late. Adam's not been here with that, with going live as of late, and I do know that for a fact. But that has not happened over the past couple of weeks at least. But Adam and I hoping to be back together with that for the Raw After Mania this year and all. But usually, at least sometimes we're here in the channel. Adam and I usually do the Raw reviews right here in the channel the day after Monday Night Raw. And with me doing the Raw review for tonight with tonight's Raw right here, right now on the channel, so when you see something like that, you know the show is fucking bad. And I mean bad. Whenever you see at least me or me and Adam with Raw review, the same as Raw, like with Raw tonight, with at least me or at least Adam and I, when you see that happen, you know the show is fucking bad tonight. This show, Monday Night Raw tonight, the worst Raw of 2021, bar none. Also, and this is at least in the top 5, top 3 worst Raws ever in the history of the near 30 years of Monday Night Raw, ever since 1993 when Raw started back in 1993. One of the worst Raws of all time. One of the worst Raws of 2021, and we're not even towards the end of 2021 yet. One of the worst Raws ever, one of the worst Raws of all time, and one of the worst Raws of the year of 2021. What the hell do we get tonight? What do we get tonight? Braun Strowman, 5th grade. Report cards. And as you see in the title of this very video right here for this Raw review right here with tonight, from tonight's Raw with tonight. Worst Raw of 2021. This is legit 5th grade. This is not fucking professional wrestling. This is not pro wrestling. I feel embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. I feel dumber watching this show. And you know something? Let me tell you something also, guys. You know, with tonight, I spent time with some family. I spent with, my grandparents and my mom. Like my grandparents and my mom, I spent time with them tonight and all. Spent some good quality time with them, with my family and that and all. I did that, and I spent time with my family tonight. I spent time with my grandparents and my mom tonight. I spent time with some family tonight. And with that, I missed the first hour and a half of the show. I missed the first hour at least of the show. And holy shit, I absolutely made the right choice. I'm glad I spent some time with family tonight instead of watching the first hour at least of this fucking shit show known as Monday Night Raw tonight. I'm glad I spent time with family tonight. I'm glad I spent time with family tonight. I'm glad that I missed the first hour of Raw tonight. One of the worst first hour Raws ever. Hurt Business is broken up. Yes, I did not stutter. I'm not kidding you guys. If you missed the show, if you missed the show tonight, I don't blame you whatsoever. The Hurt Business, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, they got kicked out of the Hurt Business tonight. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? The only good thing of Monday Night Raw, the Hurt Business, and you get rid of them? Why? Because they got over on their own? Why? Because Vince and Bruce don't like them? Does Vince and Bruce hate the Hurt Business that much because they got over on their own? Huh? Absolutely god awful. And then you'll get the fucking simpletons on Twitter. Oh, but stop overreacting, man. You're taking this way too seriously, man. Acknowledge Bobby Lashley, man. He didn't need Shelton and Cedric, man. Excuse me. I'm overreacting? I'm overreacting. Here's a clue, idiot. You don't like what I have to hear, go watch a fucking show. Go watch a WWE show. Sugarcoat this fucking show tonight. Not me. Not me. Not here for it whatsoever. Go watch someone else. Go watch Busted Show Radio. Sugarcoat the show. And say nothing bad about this show. Not me. Go watch some other podcaster who's gonna lie to your face. Not me. Not me. Not here for it whatsoever. You're gonna hear some ranting on this show tonight. Believe me, I am in such fucking mood tonight, man. My God. They broke up the Hurt Business. The only good thing of Monday Night Raw, the Hurt Business, and you break them up. You break them up. Bullshit. The only good part of Monday Night Raw, and you want to break up the Hurt Business, you want to take Shelton Benjamin, you want to take Cedric Alexander, you want to take those two away from the Hurt Business and MVP and Bobby Lashley? You want to take them away from them? Bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit, man. What else do we get? What else do we got tonight? Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman. And Shane McMahon. And Jackson Riker and Elias tonight with a Braun Strowman 5th grade report card. No, sorry. No, sorry, Shane. That report card was not actually Braun Strowman's. That was Monday Night Raw's report card. F. That's up. The report card is also for Raw and for Vince McMahon and for Bruce Pritchard and Kevin Dunn, Vince McMahon, and Edge. An F. What else do we get tonight? New Day and Omas and AJ Styles with some Connect 4 shit and block stuff and all that other stuff and stuff like that. Had that with tonight's show. What am I watching here? This is legit 5th grade, not pro wrestling. I feel embarrassed watching this shit. This is not pro wrestling. I feel dumber. Watching this shit. Awful. Chris Surratt in the chat. Hi, Nicholson. I didn't even watch the show tonight. Mr. Surratt, you missed nothing. You missed absolutely nothing. In fact, you made the right decision not watching this show tonight because this show was absolutely fucking horrendous in every sense of the word. This show was absolute fucking garbage. One of the worst Raws of 2021 ever. Everyone in the back of Raw should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. Vince should be ashamed of himself. Kevin Dunn should be ashamed of himself. Bruce Pritchard should be ashamed of himself. John Laurinaitis should be ashamed of himself. Ed Koski and Mark Carrano, they should be ashamed of themselves. And Ed should be ashamed of himself too. Ed should be ashamed of himself too. Though I'm liking with Edge as a heel on SmackDown, but Edge, he should be ashamed of himself as well. when he could be in the back standing up for, I don't know, Keith Lee and Ricochet, and for, I don't know, Angel Garza, Mia Yim to get pushed on this show. You know? But no, what does Edge do? What does Edge do? He's so afraid. He is so afraid. Edge is so afraid to speak up against Vince. And Edge sits there like a good little boy. Vince, I don't want to fight you, but it's okay to put this garbage on. It's okay to do this. It's okay to do that on Raw tonight, Vince McMahon. It's okay. I don't want to fight you, but it's okay, Vince. You're doing nothing wrong, Vince, says Edge. Fucking atrocious. Absolutely fucking atrocious. What else did we get tonight? Hey, hop, hop. With The Miz and John Morrison. This was fucking awful. Awful. Oh, but it's entertainment, man. This was good entertainment, man. If you think this is good entertainment, please don't watch professional wrestling ever again. Seriously. This was not entertainment at all. This was not even funny. This was not even funny whatsoever. Oh, but it's entertainment, man. I think they need to shy away from that entertainment aspect a little bit, in my opinion, because the entertainment is fucking awful. Oh, but it's entertainment, man. They need to shy away from that. They need to shy away from that entertainment, because that was not entertainment tonight. That was absolutely fucking embarrassing. Embarrassing. And John Morrison signed a 5-year contract with WWE for this. For this. Awful. The only good part of that segment was Bad Bunny throwing a legit fucking punch. Unlike The Miz, in which his punches are fucking terrible. Absolutely fucking awful. And then the ending of tonight's show. The ending of tonight's show. Bobby Lashley putting a bounty hunter on Drew McIntyre. Bobby Lashley putting a bounty on Drew McIntyre. Now, you would think it would be Keith Lee, right? Nah. Ricochet? Nah. Mustafa Ali? No. What did they do? What did they do? Baron Corbin from SmackDown. Baron Corbin being the bounty to attack Drew McIntyre. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Baron Corbin, that's the best you got when Keith Lee? Where was Keith Lee? Where was Jeff Hardy? A 3-time world champion. And Jeff Hardy, and you have nothing for Jeff Hardy on Monday Night Raw? Why couldn't he be in that spot to attack Drew McIntyre tonight? Why couldn't Keith Lee be in that spot to attack Drew McIntyre tonight? But you have Baron Corbin in that spot? That's the best you got? And holy shit. Now, I know some people ending the brand split, though I would not, because the wild card row was fucking awful. The wild card row was absolutely terrible. The wild card was absolutely awful 2 years ago. And it's like that was just terrible. But holy shit, Monday Night Raw. Raw is awful at their job. Raw is so fucking terrible that they need a SmackDown guy. They need a SmackDown wrestler to appear on Raw in a desperation attempt just to pop a cheap ass rating for Raw, because Raw fucking sucks cock. Because Raw is so terrible. Because Raw last week got a 1.8 rating with the Raw ratings from last week. And in a desperate fashion, Raw has a SmackDown wrestler appear on Raw and nothing but a desperation attempt because Monday Night Raw has no other fucking options. Because Monday Night Raw refuses to use their own fucking roster. And they need a SmackDown wrestler to appear on Monday Night, and Raw needs a SmackDown wrestler to appear on Raw, and nothing but fucking desperation. Garbage. Absolute fucking garbage. Raw needs a SmackDown wrestler to appear on Raw, and nothing but desperation. Fucking god awful. Now, is Baron Corbin off SmackDown and moved to Raw? Is he officially moved to Raw? Is this a transfer to is Corbin really off SmackDown? Is he moved to Raw? Is he transferred to Raw? Is he off SmackDown and moved over to Monday Night Raw? if that is the case, who did they move Baron Corbin for? I'd really like to know that. Seriously. And Baron Corbin, is he really off SmackDown for sure? Is he really off SmackDown onto Raw? If so, holy shit, how does this make Raw better? Oh, but it does. Oh, but it makes Raw better, man. Raw's getting a great heel, man. What good heel is Baron Corbin? What good heel? Go watch Adam Cole. Go watch Karrion Kross from NXT. Go watch Roman Reigns from SmackDown. That is legit heel heat. Go watch Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly from NXT. Go watch Roman Reigns from SmackDown. Go watch Kaylee Ray from NXT UK. Go watch Walter from NXT/NXT UK. That is heel. That is a fucking heel. That is legit heel heat. Baron Corbin is nothing but go away heat. Go away heat. And Baron Corbin off SmackDown and onto Raw. If that is indeed the case, if that is truly indeed the case, holy shit. SmackDown just got better, SmackDown's still better, but Baron Corbin off SmackDown makes SmackDown that much better. Baron Corbin to Raw, my God, Baron Corbin on Raw just got that much more fucking worse. Baron Corbin on Raw makes Raw that much worse. Just look at Raw's roster right now. Like Baron Corbin. Like with Baron Corbin. Him off SmackDown and moved over to Raw. If that is truly indeed the case, look at Raw's roster right now if that's truly the case. Holy shit. Raw's roster. Braun Strowman. Elias. Jackson Riker. Nia Jax. Braun Strowman, which I think I just said already. And Baron Corbin. Jesus Christ, man. Holy shit, man. My God. Yet there will be geeks on social media. Oh, but Corbin's a great heel. Raj has got a good heel, man. Baron Corbin on Raw. How does that make them better? In fact, Baron Corbin on Raw makes Raw that much worse. Baron Corbin on Raw makes Raw that much worse. If you don't see that, open your fucking eyes. Open your fucking eyes. This show was one of the worst shows of 2021. Bar none. Bar none. Edge, I love you, but I hope you're watching this. I hope you're watching this, Edge. Edge, if you're watching this right now, I'm telling you right now, Edge, you are terrible at your job. Daniel Bryan does a much better job than you do, Mr. Edge, because Daniel Bryan actually gives a fuck about the talent, unlike you, Edge, who's just so afraid to speak against Vince McMahon. Edge. And I love you, Edge, but you should be ashamed of yourself because you could easily be in the back, Edge, standing up for the guys and girls on Raw who deserve to get pushed. When you, Edge, should be in the back on Raw, speaking against Vince McMahon. But no, you don't do that, Edge. You don't. You don't. Edge just sits there like a good little boy who's so afraid to argue with Vince, and he just yeses Vince to death. Yes, 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 when it should be no, 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 and hell fucking no. This show was fucking garbage tonight. One of the worst Raws of 2021, if not the worst Raw of 2021. One of the worst Raws ever in the history of Monday Night Raw. One of the worst Raws ever. And if you disagree with that, you shouldn't be anywhere near pro wrestling. Ever. Ever. If you think this Raw was good, then you're the root of the issue. Then you're the reason why Raw is a fucking failure right now. You're the reason. You are the reason. Absolutely awful Raw tonight. I could end the review right here. But we got a lot to go over tonight. We got a lot to go over tonight. I'm, of course, Nick Fiore. This is the Fiore Station YouTube channel right here on youtube.com. This is the Raw review with Raw tonight, March 29th of 2021. We're going to go over what happened on Raw tonight. You'll hear some bitching and ranting and complaining tonight with this show. The show will be ripped a new one. The show will be ripped a new asshole. Raw tonight will be ripped a new asshole, deservedly, rightfully and deservedly rightfully so. And get your seatbelt strapped, get some nice cold beverages, get a nice cold drink, and get your seatbelt strapped. This is going to be real good. You're going to hear a lot of ranting, and you're not going to want to miss this one. This is going to be real good. You're going to hear a lot of ranting tonight, and I'm ripping this show a new asshole tonight. Because this show was absolutely fucking abysmal. Absolutely abysmal was the show tonight. Awful. Absolutely fucking awful. And before we get started with the Raw review tonight, right here in the channel, before we get started with the Raw review with Raw tonight, shortly right here in the channel, follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579. Follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiori2014. And follow me on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiori.31 over on Facebook. Add me as a friend on Facebook if you like. And make sure you hit that like button on the video, guys. In fact, make sure you hit that like button on this video right here because this show tonight, I'm ripping because I am ripping this show new asshole tonight, man. Guarantee it. So make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to the Fiori Nation YouTube channel if you've not done so already. Make sure you go do that. Make sure you hit that bell for all notifications and all, so you get notified whenever videos on the channels uploaded onto YouTube, and you get notified. So subscribe to the Fiori Nation YouTube channel. Make sure you go do that. Make sure you also hit the bell for. Make sure you hit that bell for all notifications as well, guys. And make sure to hit a like on this video. It will be greatly appreciated. And that is that. And actually, before we get started with the Raw review, and I have my notes. I took a lot of notes during the show tonight, too. I took a lot of notes during the show tonight as well, guys. Believe me on that one. But before we go over Raw shortly tonight, got some super chats. Before we go over Raw tonight, we got some super chats. Adam Carl in the chat. The worst Raw of 2021 and one of the worst Raws of all time. Adam Carl. And they had a Raw Legends night and as the first Raw of 2021, and they thought it would help the ratings. 3 laughing emojis. Yeah. And they could even get in Raw Legends night, the first Raw of 2021, they got like what, 2.1? They couldn't even get 2.1 million viewers. They could even get 2.5 million viewers. They got a 2.1. And then what happened the next week? 1.8, 1.7, 1.8 consistent Raw rating weekly with Monday Night Raw. Raw last week got a 1.8. Do they get lower? I hope so. I hope by the end of this year, Raw was so bad tonight. I hope Raw gets below 1 million viewers by the end of this year. I hope so. In fact, with NXT moving to Tuesdays in a few weeks, which is inevitable because Impact is moving to Thursday shortly. So NXT to Tuesdays is inevitable. But NXT is moving to Tuesdays shortly, which is inevitable. And with that being the case, NXT to Tuesdays shortly inevitable. Inevitably, which is the case. And if that's the case, and AEW Dynamite has no Wednesday as the same day as Wednesday, and if all that's the case, and NXT and Impact Thursday, and NXT Tuesday and Wednesday AEW Dynamite, and if all that's the case, AEW Dynamite, I hope they beat Raw on their ratings this year by the end of 2021. I hope so. And if that happens, and when that happens by the end of 2021, by the end of 2021, which I hope is the case, and if that's the case, Vince is going to be furious, and someone's getting fired by Vince. Bruce Pritchard's not safe. He's not safe. Bruce thinks he's safe, but he's not. Guarantee you, Dynamite beats Raw in the ratings this year, and then after that, Vince fires Bruce after that. I guarantee that. Bruce Pritchard, I guarantee you he gets fired by the end of this year. I guarantee it. This show was fucking garbage tonight. This show was absolute fucking garbage tonight. Adam Carl, Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, Bruce Pritchard, Johnny Ace, or John Laurinaitis, Mark Carrano, and Ed Koskey should look at themselves in the mirror and put the blame on themselves for why Raw is a dumpster fire. Facts, Adam. Facts, Adam. Adam Carl also in the chat. And they had a Raw Legends night, like I just said, like I just talked about. Adam Carl in the chat. Not just Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, Bruce Pritchard, Johnny Ace, Mark Carrano, and Koskey. Edge should as well look himself in the mirror because he's the lead. Because he's the lead creative writer for Raw. Yep. Daniel Bryan's the Smack Rave. Daniel Bryan's a part of the SmackDown. Daniel Bryan is a part of the SmackDown creative team. And Edge is part of the Raw creative team. And look what Daniel Bryan is doing right now. SmackDown's no better. SmackDown still sucks, but look at like Apollo Crews and Big E, Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura. I would not be surprised if Daniel Bryan has some influence over there. Not major, but some. Not major, but some from Daniel Bryan. From Daniel Bryan. That would not surprise me. That would not surprise me whatsoever. Chris Surratt. Hi, Nicholas and Adam. I don't even watch the. I did not even watch the show tonight. I don't blame you, Mr. Surratt. I don't blame you whatsoever, Mr. Surratt. I don't blame you whatsoever, Mr. Surratt. Adam Carl. And Edge does nothing. And Adam Carl in the chat. And Edge does nothing to fix Raw, and he refuses to stand up for the talent on the show. He should be fucking ashamed of himself. Facts. Nothing but facts, Adam Carl. Nothing but facts. Chris Surratt in the chat. My buddy told me I was pissed and angry. My buddy told me I was pissed and angry that Hurt Business is no longer a faction. Hurt Business being broken up, that was the dumbest thing that company could have ever done. The only good part of Raw, the Hurt Business. And you break them up. The only good part of Raw, the Hurt Business, and you break them up? Holy shit, man. You think Raw's... Like, you break up the Hurt Business, and it's like, for what? Because they got themselves over? Vince, Dunn, Bruce, you are terrible at your job. You really are. Adam Carl, also in the chat. If the only thing Edge wants to do, Adam Carl in the chat, if the only thing Edge wants to do as Raw creative writer is putting himself over, then he should remove himself from the writing team. I agree, Adam. I absolutely agree. Because with the men's Rumble this year, Daniel Bryan, I heard, was originally supposed to win, but then Edge booked himself to win the men's Rumble this year. Edge booked himself to win the men's Rumble this year. And he won't convince me otherwise. Hell, even if Seth Rollins was going to win, anyone but Edge. Anyone but Edge at this point. As far as this past year's, as far as the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble this past January, which happened this past January goes. And we might as well get started with what happened on Raw tonight. Take a sip of my drink. Gonna need a lot of energy in me to shit all over. Gonna need a lot of energy in me to shit all over Raw tonight. So, no more super chats. Okay, we'll get started with the show tonight. So, the show starts off tonight the earlier today segment with Drew McIntyre. He arrives at the Tropicana Field Arena for Raw tonight. He stopped by Sarah Schreiber. She's interviewing Drew McIntyre, and she asks him if he heard about the offer Bobby Lashley made to the locker room last week. Drew says that anyone who tries to cash in has no work. Has McIntyre then says that anyone who tries to cash in has to worry about if Lashley is good for his promise to give whoever takes him out a title shot. They also have to worry about what McIntyre is going to do to them in the process. And then we get the opening segment of the night to start tonight's show. Entering segment with the Hurt Business. Lashley, MVP, Cedric, and Shelton, they're all in the ring. And MVP has the mic, and he says that Lashley is going to walk in and out as the WWE champion at WrestleMania. Lashley repeats that if anyone takes out McIntyre, they will be rewarded with a WWE Championship title match. MVP then says that Drew has already been given his opportunity. It's time to give someone else a chance. MVP then asks if anyone is willing to take the challenge. No one comes out. MVP then reminds everyone that Cedric and Shelton got themselves barred from ringside for the title match because they lost to McIntyre last week. Lashley then says that they had a perfect opportunity Lashley then says that with Cedric and Shelton, they had a perfect opportunity. Lashley then says that Cedric and Shelton, he says that they had a perfect opportunity from last week and they blew it. Lashley then says that he refuses to associate himself with incompetence. MVP then asks them to explain themselves. Cedric says they could have done this in the back. Benjamin then gets in MVP's face. Lashley then decks Alexander. Lashley then decks Cedric. Benjamin pulls Lashley off. Benjamin pulls Lashley off of Cedric. Lashley beats down Benjamin. Lashley then grabs the mic and says, as far as Cedric and Shelton are concerned, the Hurt Business is over. Fucking god awful. Absolutely fucking awful in every sense of the fucking word. Raw is the worst show on television. And the only good part of Raw was the Hurt Business. Now you want to break them up? Why? Why? Because it wasn't Vince's. It wasn't Bruce's. Is that it? Vince, Bruce, you suck at your job. You are so jealous of the Hurt Business. Why? Because the Hurt Business got over on their own? The Hurt Business on their own. The Hurt Business, they're getting over on Raw on their own. We can't have that here. That's not allowed here. How do we kill the Hurt Business, Bruce? What shall we do, Bruce, to kill the Hurt Business, Bruce? Vince, I say let's break up the Hurt Business tonight, Vince, because I love you. Bruce, you've done it again. You're a genius, Bruce. Bruce, you say, let's break up the Hurt Business tonight? Bruce, that's a brilliant idea. That is an excellent idea, Bruce. At 7:29 p.m., Bruce, I want you to tickle my right nun. Good job, Bruce. Congratulations, Bruce. You're a genius. Why? Why? Hurt Business is no more. And now guess what's gonna happen to Cedric and Shelton now? Right back to Titus Catering. You know, Titus O'Neil, he misses Cedric and Shelton so dearly in Titus Catering, you know. Because, you know, Ricochet, because with the cupcake maker for Titus Catering, originally that spot was for Apollo Crews. Now he's on SmackDown hunting some championship gold right now. Currently on SmackDown right now is Apollo Crews currently right now on SmackDown right now. And now and then Ricochet took that spot. And now Titus is realizing that Ricochet is fucking up the cupcake section right now. Titus is now realizing that Ricochet's doing a terrible job right now with the cupcake making and Titus Catering on Raw right now. So now Titus misses Cedric and Shelton so dearly right now in Titus Catering. So now, so much so that Titus, he wants so much so that Titus with the cupcake making it Titus Catering, Titus wants to get rid of Ricochet in that position, and he wants Ricochet replacing that position by Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Shelton and Cedric will, very soon. I guarantee it, guys. Very soon, Shelton and Cedric, they'll be right back to Titus Catering, making good old chocolate cupcakes with vanilla cream filling, made famously in Titus Catering by Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Hurt Business is no more. Fucking garbage. Adam Carl in the chat. If the only... Oh. I think I saw a message in the super chat from Adam Carl talking about Andrade. Does anyone want to know why Andrade asked for his release? I don't blame Andrade whatsoever, man. He made the right decision by getting out of this fucking company. Oh, but Andrade's only there for the money, man. Fuck Andrade, man. Alberto Del Rio is better than Andrade, man. Andrade in WWE was never going to be that top Latino face of the company in WWE, man. Andrade was never going to be in that spot, man. Del Rio is for that spot. Fuck Andrade. Del Rio's better than him, man. First of all, fuck Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio is a retard, and Del Rio is a woman beater, so fuck Del Rio. At this point, Del Rio's in jail. Good. I hope so. And also fuck Del Rio. Andrade is better than Del Rio. Don't at me. Fuck Del Rio. Oh, but Andrade sucks, man. Andrade's only there for the money, man. Really? Look at a guy like Andrade and the talent that Andrade has and possesses. Think Andrade is only there for the money? Andrade knows what he's worth. Oh, but the catering is better than the wrestling, man. If you think that, then why the fuck are you in pro wrestling? Then why the fuck are you in pro wrestling to begin with? Andrade knows what he's worth. He did the right thing by getting out of this fucking company. Andrade did the right fucking thing by asking for his release from the WWE. And I think Adam in the chat, I see another super chat from Adam as well in the chat from Adam Carl. Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode are doing a terrible job in catering that Titus needs Cedric and Shelton back. Yeah, I agree, Adam. I absolutely agree. And then we go backstage with Matt Riddle. He's annoying Matt Riddle. He's annoying Titus O'Neil. You know, Titus in the back with Titus Catering tonight. You know, I have to say this. Titus O'Neil with Raw tonight, with Titus Catering with Raw tonight, with Titus O'Neil. You know, Titus O'Neil a while ago, Titus Catering, he had a really scrumptious a delicious coconut custard pie in the oven. Titus and Titus Catering was making a really delicious coconut custard pie in the back in Titus Catering on Raw with Titus O'Neil, and he put the pie in the oven. And Titus had to step out, and the backstage was Titus to chat with Matt Riddle, and Titus had to step away from the oven a bit to let the coconut custard cream pie bake in the oven, and Titus had to step away from the oven a little bit, and he told Humberto to watch the pie, make sure the pie doesn't burn. Titus was like, Humberto, make sure the pie doesn't burn, make sure the pie is not burnt, Humberto. Please, I know you think Taco Tuesday all the time, but I know it's Monday Night Raw. It's not Taco Tuesday, Humberto Carrillo. Don't let the pie burn, Humberto. Please, don't fuck it up, Humberto. You fuck this up, I'm giving the duties to Akira Tozawa, bro, to watch the pie, Humberto, bro. You know? So I just like to Humberto. Don't mess this up, Humberto. Don't mess this up, Humberto. Don't let the pie burn, Humberto. Don't that pie, Humberto. Don't let it burn, okay? All right. You know Titus did that. You know. Anyways, so we had backstage with Matt Riddle and all. He was annoying Titus O'Neil in the back. Then after O'Neil walked away, Sheamus then knocked Riddle off his scooter. Sheamus tells Riddle he'll see him out there in the ring in a little bit. And then we go backstage with Cedric and Shelton. They find Adam Pearce in the back. Benjamin says he wants Bobby Lashley tonight. Cedric then says he wants Lashley next week. Pearce then hesitates. And then Cedric asks if Pearce is going to have... And then Cedric asks if Pearce is going to have... Then asks if Pearce is going to have to check with Lashley as he does with Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Benjamin then tells Pearce to grow a pair, and then that was that. So Lashley Shelton fed to Lashley, and then the next week Cedric fed to Lashley. After that, Cedric and Shelton right back to Titus Catering. You go. Titus O'Neil misses you dearly in Titus Catering. Shelton and Cedric. And then we go the next match of the night, Matt Riddle and Sheamus, non-title. We had Sheamus wrecking over Riddle. We had Riddle managing to lock Sheamus in a choke. Sheamus escaped it and lands a clothesline. Sheamus then spills to the outside. PK off the apron by Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle then with a floating bro. Sheamus lands a backbreaker. Riddle kicks out. Riddle then manages to suplex Sheamus off the top rope. Riddle fires up and lands a flurry of moves. Riddle hits a Broton, followed by a triangle choke. Sheamus then powerbombs Matt Riddle, but Riddle holds on. Sheamus eventually then gets to the bottom rope to force a rope break. Sheamus then lands white noise on the apron. Riddle kicks out. Sheamus then calls for a bro kick. Riddle catches him with a knee. Sheamus then lands a running knee of his own to Sheamus. And Sheamus pins Matt Riddle 1, 2, 3, and Sheamus defeats Matt Riddle, the U.S. champ, in a non-title match. Shout out to Stella Monster, big fan of Stella Monster, and want to say what's up, bro, and all, and how you doing? Hope you're doing all right, Stella Monster. And a shout out to you, Stella Monster. Stella Monster would say, champions are chumps. Champions are chumps. Sheamus versus Matt Riddle. The U.S. champion, non-title match. Matt Riddle loses clean. Matt Riddle, your U.S. champion, loses clean to Sheamus. Why? And Riddle and Sheamus for the U.S. title. They announced that they're ready for WrestleMania this year, and then they have Sheamus beat Riddle clean here to justify the match. Lazy booking. Lazy fucking booking. And then you'll get the idiots on social media. Oh, but the match was good, man. I don't care if the match was good or not. Champion should not lose clean. Champion should never lose clean in non-title match situations. I don't care how good the match is. Riddle should not be your U.S. champion. Matt Riddle should not lose clean. Champion should not lose clean. But they have plans for Matt Riddle as U.S. champ, though, man. Sure they do. Weeks ago on Raw, non-title, Ali and Riddle. They had Matt Riddle lose clean to Mustafa Ali. Then Fastlane for the U.S. title, Matt Riddle, Mustafa Ali. Matt Riddle then retains. Then tonight on Raw. Then we go to tonight on Raw. Non-title match with Riddle and Sheamus, and Riddle loses clean to Sheamus tonight. At this point, Matt Riddle, can we get the U.S. title off him, please? At this point, if this is what they're going to do with Matt Riddle, just put the belt on Sheamus. Just put the U.S. title on Sheamus at WrestleMania. Awful. If you find no problem with this, wake up. If you find no problem with this, you're the root of the issue. Lazy and terrible fucking booking here. And then after the match, Sheamus was celebrating. Riddle then pushes Sheamus to the outside area. And then that was that. Oh, did we? I think I just got a text or something today. Oh, just from Joseph Conlon. Oh, it was just something from Joseph Conlon from the Big Fight deal. Speaking of Joseph Conlon, him and Darwish. Joseph Conlon and Darwish. Shout out to you, Joseph Conlon and Darwish. Both of those guys are going to be with me right here in the channel for the WrestleMania 37 preview predictions video right here in the channel on Friday, April 9th before SmackDown. So look out for that video on that day on the channel. It's going to be a real good one. You're not going to want to miss that. So just thought I'd say that. And shout out to you, Joseph Conlon and Darwish. Want to say what's up, bros? And hope you're doing well. And then we get the next segment of tonight's show. Shane McMahon and Elias. What do you want me to say tonight, guys? What do you want me to say tonight? Is there really any reason for me to yell and banter at this point? Seriously. Is there any reason for me to get upset at this point? I don't think so. This segment was so bad. So bad that this may be one of the worst segments ever. One of the worst segments ever in the history of Monday Night Raw. Raw nearly 30 years old, and this has got to be this had to be one of the worst segments in Monday Night Raw history. Awful. In the ring, Shane McMahon and Elias and Jackson Riker. McMahon, Shane, Elias, and Jackson Riker are all inside the ring. Shane says his knee was really hurt, but adrenaline gave him the power to run away last week. Shane then puts Braun Strowman's old report card from the 5th grade on the Titantron. It showed Braun Strowman with 2 Ds, a D- and a D+. Shane then says he's going to outwit Strowman at WrestleMania. This is not professional wrestling, folks. Monday Night Raw is not professional wrestling. This is legit 5th grade. This is not pro wrestling. Raw is not pro wrestling. At this point, am I watching Nickelodeon? Or is this fucking 5th grade at this point? Or am I watching Monday Night Raw at this point? To be honest with you, I can't even tell anymore. This was absolutely fucking atrocious. Whoever okayed this in the back needs to be fired within the blink of a fucking eye. Whoever okayed this segment, whoever gave this segment the green light, should absolutely needs to look at themselves in the mirror and should absolutely be ashamed of themselves, because this was absolutely terrible. This was terrible. We had Shane McMahon pulling out Braun Strowman's report card from the 5th grade. No, sorry, Shane. That report card he pulled out. You know what that's for? It's not. No, you know what that's for, Shane? That's not for Braun Strowman. That's for Monday Night Raw. That's for Vince McMahon. That's for Vince McMahon. Shane McMahon. That's for Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, and Bruce Pritchard. That's a report card for them. Because Raw is a fucking F for failure. Failure. This segment was so fucking bad. In fact, I missed this segment, and you know what? I'm glad I missed this segment because that's how bad this segment was. It was so atrocious, absolutely atrocious. This segment was horrible in every sense of the word. Don't you even dare defend this segment. If you do, you shouldn't be anywhere near social media. You shouldn't be anywhere near pro wrestling. This segment was so fucking bad. In every single piece and sense of the word, this segment was that fucking bad. This segment was terrible. Terrible. This is not even wrestling anymore. And you mean, and yet you want to say Raw's the A show, right? Sure. And yet you want to call this WrestleMania season, right? Sure. Oh, but it's WrestleMania season, man. Really? Not with fucking report cards and fucking 5th grade on this show. What am I watching here? What am I watching here? I don't believe this is the best you can come up with. Fucking report cards. Fucking report cards. I hate Monday Night Raw. I absolutely hate Monday Night Raw. Everyone in the back on Monday Night Raw should absolutely be ashamed of themselves. They should absolutely be ashamed of themselves. They should look themselves in the mirror, every single one of them, and they should absolutely be fucking ashamed of themselves. Big time. Because this segment was so bad, so fucking bad, that at this point, I hope this show gets even below a 1.8 million viewer rating. That's how awful this segment was. I hope the Raw ratings go down even lower. That's how fucking bad this segment was. Fucking atrocious. Absolutely fucking atrocious, man. And then we got the next match, Braun Strowman versus Jackson Riker with Elias and Shane McMahon. Strowman tosses Riker all over the ring. Braun Strowman does his typical that. Braun Strowman does his typical and with the train sound effects with that as well. Fucking terrible. And then Strowman pins Riker off the power slam, which looked terrible. Strowman then pins Riker. Strowman then pins Riker after the power slam, which looked terrible. And Braun Strowman beats Jackson Riker. Who cares? Braun Strowman defeats Jackson Riker. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? And then after the match, Strowman then chases Shane around the ring. Elias and Riker then attack Strowman. Strowman tosses everyone away. Strowman then tells Shane, Shane, at our match at WrestleMania. Shane, at our match at WrestleMania. You have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Because Shane, our match at Mania is going to be a steel cage match, says Braun Strowman. Strowman tells Shane that they will have a cage match at WrestleMania. Hold on. So let me get this straight. Braun Strowman says to Shane that their match at Mania is a cage match, and Shane has nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. What a dummy is Braun Strowman. I'm sorry, Mr. Strowman. I guess you didn't watch the last SmackDown of 2020, Christmas night, where the beginning of the show was the cage match for the Universal title with Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, and Roman retained against Owens for the Universal title inside the cage. Roman Reigns retained with Jey Uso coming out and helping Reigns retain when Jey handcuffed Owens to the steel cage, allowing Roman to escape. I guess you didn't watch that, Mr. Strowman. Cage match at Mania with Strowman and Shane. I guarantee you there's interference in that match by Elias and Riker, and then Shane wins by escaping the cage. I guarantee you that happens. Again, with Shane escaping the cage at Mania. I guarantee you that with Shane escaping the cage at WrestleMania against Braun Strowman. I guarantee you that happens. Yet Braun wants to say here tonight on Raw that at WrestleMania it's going to be a cage match with Shane Strowman, and Shane has nowhere to hide. Says Braun Strowman, and Shane has nowhere to hide. And with the steel cage, Shane has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and Shane has nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Says Braun Strowman, right? Sure, Mr. Strowman. Continue to be a dummy, Mr. Strowman. Continue to be a fucking dummy, Mr. Braun Strowman. And this was your former. And Braun Strowman. And this guy was the Universal Champion last year. Just let that sink in. Awful. Fucking awful. And then we get the next match on the show. Not the next match on the show, the next segment on the show. Another awful segment on the show tonight. The Dirt Sheet. Oh, joy. How many people changed the channel on that one there? Huh? The Dirt Sheet on Monday Night Raw tonight. I heard people reaching for the remote control and changing the channel tonight. Dirt Sheet on Monday Night Raw. Fucking serious. Fucking terrible the segment was. outside of a legit punch from Bad Bunny. This segment, the dirt sheet, this segment sucked here. It sucked. We had Miz with the dirt sheet, with the Miz saying that they're going to premiere their new video, Hey Hey, Hop Hop. Monday Night Raw is the worst show on television. Hey Hey, Hop Hop. Vince, Bruce, and Don are terrible at their job. Hey Hey, Hop Hop. Braun is stupid. Hey Hey, Hop Hop. Raw deserves to get low fucking ratings. Hey Hey, Hop Hop. Raw deserves to be below 1 million viewer ratings, below 1 million viewer ratings. Hey, hey, hop, hop. Monday Night Raw deserves to be canceled. Hey, hey, hop, hop. Raw is absolutely fucking atrocious. Hey, hey, hop, hop. The Miz and Morrison in this segment, hopping in bunny costumes. And this guy, The Miz, and this guy, The Miz, was the WWE champion last month. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. How bad does it look? And The Miz was a and this guy, The Miz, won the WWE title last month at Elimination Chamber, only to lose it 8 days later on Raw to Bobby Lashley. And this, with all that, and this guy Miz was the WWE champion. And this guy The Miz was the WWE champion a month ago. Just let that sink in. Just let that sink in. How bad does it look now that they took off of Drew last month at the Elimination Chamber? How bad does it look now that they did all that when they took the belt off of Drew last month at Elimination Chamber? How bad does it look now? How bad does it look now that they did all of that? How bad does it look now? And The Miz was WWE champion a month ago. Then a month later, The Miz is then hopping in a fucking bunny costume. And you find no issue with that? You find no problem with that. You find absolutely no problem with that? The Miz was WWE champion last month and for 8 days. And that was last month. And then this month, The Miz is then hopping in a bunny costume. When you have all of that, you know you got a fucking issue. Awful. Awful. This Miz and Morrison shit with the bunny costume shit, this was not even funny here. This was not even entertaining. And if you claim this was entertaining, and if you claim that this was entertaining, oh, but it was entertaining, man. If you think that this was entertaining, I swear to God, dude, you don't deserve to watch pro wrestling. You don't deserve to watch pro wrestling if you thought this was entertaining. This shit sucked. It sucked. Absolutely fucking sucked. The Miz then throws the video. It's terrible. So terrible. Damian Priest and Bad Bunny then interrupt. Bad Bunny then says he's going to make Miz his bitch. Priest steps in front of Bad Bunny. Miz says Priest isn't going to be able to protect him at Mania. Priest steps out of the way. Miz walks up to Bad Bunny and Bad Bunny with his right hand punches the Miz right in the face. Bad Bunny then destroys the dirt sheet set. And then that was that. Fucking awful segment. Absolutely fucking awful. This is not pro wrestling, folks. This is not pro wrestling, folks. And if you think it's pro wrestling, you're a fucking idiot. This dirt sheet segment was absolutely fucking horrible. And this video with Ms. Morrison in a bunny costume That video with that, and this video, in that video with Ms. Morrison hopping around a bunny costume. Holy shit, man. My God. Fucking terrible. This was not even funny either. I didn't laugh once watching this. I mean, I missed this live, but I watched it also on YouTube and Twitter. I did not laugh once. I cried and cringed. It was that fucking bad. Awful. Absolutely awful. This is the state of Monday Night Raw. Hopping in a bunny costume. This is the state of Monday Night Raw. Hopping around in a bunny costume. Awful. Awful. Then you want to know why the Raw ratings are in the fucking shitter right now. Then you want to know why Andrade left the WWE. Awful. Awful. And let me go backstage with Randy Orton. He says, at least now he knows what he's dealing with. Lucky for Orton, he is cut from the same cloth as The Fiend. Orton says he will do whatever he has to do. Ooh, I am so intimidated with that line there, said no one ever. Man, I'm excited for that one there. Man, I'm excited for Orton and The Fiend at WrestleMania, said no one ever. And then we get the next match of the night, Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Shelton Benjamin with Cedric Alexander. We had Lashley win this match with the spine buster. Lashley won this match with two spine busters and then a full Nelson or the Hurt Lock. Lashley locks in the Hurt Lock on Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin passes out. Bobby Lashley beats Shelton Benjamin. Right back to catering you go, Mr. Benjamin. Right back to catering you go, Mr. Benjamin. Right back to catering you go, Mr. Shelton Benjamin. Let's see if there's any more super chats. Oh, no more super chats. And then we got the next segment of the night. And this segment was fucking terrible, too. Game night. With the New Day of Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and AJ Styles and Omas. We had this game night segment on the show tonight, which was fucking terrible. We had the New Day inviting AJ and Omas to the ring for game night. Kingston says AJ and Omas can't win because they aren't. Kingston says AJ and Omas cannot win because they are not a real team. Styles then eventually agrees. The first game is charades. Woods and Kingston then easily win the first. Kingston and Woods easily win the first round. Omas and Styles fail miserably. Omas essentially refuses to even try. Omas then says, enough with the games. They don't have to win a stupid game. They just need to win at WrestleMania. And then this leads to the next match. AJ Styles with Omas versus Xavier Woods with Kofi Kingston. We had during this match, Omas decking Woods, which causes a DQ. So Xavier Woods beats AJ Styles by disqualification. After Omas decked Woods, Omas then press slams Kingston over the barricade. Styles then tosses Woods into a sky high by Omas. Omas puts his foot on Woods' chest. Styles then counts to 3. And then that was that. And I'm taking another drink too. So I'm watching this segment, right? I'm watching this segment. And this is the best show out for AJ Styles It's the best shot for AJ Styles. Game night. Game night. You kidding me? AJ Styles. This guy was on SmackDown last year as Intercontinental Champion. Correct? SmackDown last year. AJ Styles was on SmackDown last year as the Intercontinental Champion. Have good matches with Matt Riddle and Daniel Bryan and Jeff Hardy, Daniel Bryan, Drew Gulak. Correct? But now here on Monday Night Raw, we have AJ Styles now here on Raw with fucking game night with Kofi and Woods on Monday Night Raw. With fucking game night on Monday Night Raw with Kofi and Woods at New Day. Are you serious? Are you serious? AJ Styles, one of the best wrestlers in the world. And this is what you do with the guy. And this is what you do with AJ Styles. And this is the state of the Raw Tag Team Division too, folks. Merge the tag team divisions. There are no tag teams right now. Don't end the brand split. Just merge the tag team divisions. There are no tag teams right now. There are no tag teams right now on Raw and on SmackDown. I mean, SmackDown has 4 or 5 teams. 5 teams if you count the Usos whenever Jimmy Uso comes back. But Raw, there are 0 teams. There are 0 teams on Monday Night Raw. 0. AJ Styles and Omos, I don't even consider them a tag team, to be honest with you. I don't. And Adam and I have been saying this for weeks too. Is Omos even that good as well? It's Omos even that good as well. Omos was an NXT, but NXT local Florida house shows over the past couple years at least. And Omos in NXT, he was with NXT local Florida house shows managed by Malcolm Bivens, who's now managing Tyler West currently right now, and NXT was impressive currently right now. And Omos, not even on NXT television once. And Omos is brought right up to Raw just based off his size alone. Because Omos is tall like the Big Show, Andre the Giant, the Great Khali, Kane, Andre the Giant, Kevin Nash, and Viscera. Remember him? The world's largest love machine, and Viscera, who was a part of the Edge era and the Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness with Paul Bearer and Gangrel and Edge and Christian and the APA. Remember them? The Ministry. Viscera was part of that group back in, I think, 1999, I believe. Remember that? During the Attitude Era, remember that? During the Attitude Era, remember that? Remember that and all? You know? And so then Omos, he's immediately brought up to Raw just based off his big size alone. Him and I have been talking about this for weeks now, and still now. Is Omos even that good at this point? At this point, Omos is just like Braun. At this point, in my opinion, and Omos, he has not wrestled once. And Omos, how many times has he wrestled on Raw? 0. Is Omos even that good at this point? At this point, in my opinion, Omos is just like Braun Strowman, a one-trick pony. Generic, WWE typical, generic big man at this point, in my opinion. One trick, just like Braun Strowman, one-trick pony at this point, in my opinion. Is Omos even that good? I doubt it. In this segment, man, holy shit. A guy like AJ Styles, and this is the best you got for AJ Styles. If this is the game night, if this is the best you got for AJ Styles, remove yourself as a WWE creative writer because you don't care and you're only in it for the almighty dollar because that's all you care about. Game night. That's the best you got for AJ Styles. Fucking terrible. Fucking Fucking terrible in every sense of the word. If you have no issue with this, wake the fuck up. If you have no issue with this whatsoever, open your eyes. Awful. Awful. And AJ Styles versus Xavier Woods. Who cared? Woods wins by Xavier Woods. He beats AJ Styles by DQ. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I guarantee you the Raw WrestleMania Go Home show for Raw next week. I guarantee you we get a handicap match on Raw next week. I guarantee you next week on Raw. I guarantee you next week on Raw we get a handicap match with Woods and Kofi versus AJ Styles with Raw next week. I guarantee you we get that. I guarantee you we get that with Raw next week. Terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible and absolute fucking garbage. And get the next segment. And then we go backstage with Alexa Bliss. She says her Jack in the Box is special. Orton burns the Fiend alive. The Fiend was just weakening and trapped her in and the Fiend was just weakening and trapped in her Fiend in a box. He is now he is free. Bliss then triggers her Fiend in a box, and the Fiend is shown on the next swing. Who cares? This Fiend and Orton shit. Can we just end it already and get an Orton something more better and relevant? The sooner with this Fiend and Orton feud, the sooner Orton is out of this bullshit, the better. Because this Fiend and Orton feud is fucking awful. This Fiend and Orton feud fucking sucks. Just end it already at Mania and just get it over with. Seriously, get this Fiend and Orton crap. Can we get Randy Orton out of this shit, please? Can we get Randy Orton out of this bullshit, please? This Orton Fiend feud, this Orton Fiend shit. I'm tired of it. I really am. And Orton and the Fiend. And here's another thing about the feud with Fiend and Orton on Raw. They've been feuding since October last year. And we're now into March, going into April. Pretty soon. 6 months. 6 months now. Orton and the Fiend have been feuding right now on Monday Night Raw. Can we end this already? 6 months now. 6 months now. Orton and the Fiend have been feuding right now on Raw. Can we end this already? Can we end this already? I'm sick and tired of this feud on Raw with Orton and the Fiend. I'm sick and tired of it. Gives me a goddamn headache every fucking Monday. End it. End this fucking bullshit and get Orton out of this feud. The sooner Orton gets out of this feud, the better for Randy Orton. Awful. Awful. And yet there's idiots on social media who defend this storyline with Orton the Fiend. Oh, but Orton the Fiend is good storytelling, man. Where? Where's it good storytelling? I ask you where. If you can find where it's good, if you can find where it's good storytelling, please, I'd love to know, because I'm not seeing it. This Orton and Fiend shit. Good storytelling? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Stop defending garbage. Stop defending garbage. This Fiend and Orton shit ended at Mania and get the bullshit over with. Awful. Awful. And then we go backstage with Drew McIntyre. He's bursting into the men's locker room. He demands that someone steps up. He gets in Braun Strowman's face. He's beating up Humberto Carrillo. He's beating up Drew Gulak. He headbutts. He does the Glasgow kiss to Drew Gulak. Does Drew McIntyre. McIntyre then gets in Strowman's face. Strowman then says that if McIntyre wins at Mania, he's got something for McIntyre. McIntyre and Strowman after Mania? Please fucking no. McIntyre and Strowman after Mania, please fucking shoot me. Shoot me. Strowman versus McIntyre. Fuck no. Strowman and McIntyre after WrestleMania for the WWE title, please fucking no. Please fucking no. I hope not. I hope not. Do you want McIntyre in his third WWE title reign? Do you want that to be fucking atrocious? You want it to be atrocious, that's what you do. Awful. McIntyre and Strowman after Mania, God, I hope not. God, I fucking hope not. And then McIntyre headbutts Drew Gulak, which I just said. Ricochet then says that Lashley's word means nothing to him, but if McIntyre wants a dance partner, Ricochet accepts. So we get towards the end of the show tonight, Drew McIntyre versus Ricochet. Oh, Ricochet. No more catering for Ricochet, at least for this week. Did Bruce finally grow a brain? I doubt it. I doubt it very much. But Ricochet, no more catering for Ricochet. For at least this week. But you know. And then we get the next segment or next match. Shannon Baszler with Nia Jackson, Reginald versus Naomi with Lana. Do I even need to go over this? Oh, Joseph Kahn on the big fight field. Yo, what up, Nick? Joseph Kahn won. Hey, bro, what's up, brother? I know you did your Raw review on your channel earlier. I got to watch it, but I hope you ripped that show to shreds tonight. I hope you did because this show tonight was fucking terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible in every sense of the word. Like you see in the title here, folks. Like seeing the title here, folks, and in the thumbnail with this live video here, folks. Monday Night Raw is not pro wrestling. This is legit fifth grade. This is not pro wrestling. Raw's not pro wrestling. Wrestling, you think AEW, you think NXT, you think NXT UK. That's pro wrestling. Monday Night Raw? Yeah, sure. Big fight feel. I was in dying ending to the show. Don't even get me started on the ending, Joe. Don't even get me started on that ending with Baron Corbin. Is he off SmackDown and move to Raw? Baron Corbin, is he off SmackDown and move to Raw? If so, my God. Corbin off SmackDown makes SmackDown that much better, but Corbin on Raw? Holy shit, man. Raw just got worse. Baron Corbin on Raw? My God, Raw just got that much more fucking worse, man. Baron Corbin on Raw. If you think this makes Raw better, you are a fucking fool. Awful. Baron Corbin on Raw. If you think Baron Corbin on Raw, if you think that makes Raw better, you're a fool. Awful. Awful. And then we get the next match on the show tonight, with tonight's shit show known as Monday Night Raw with tonight. Shayna Baszler with Nia Jackson, Reginald, Flippy Reginald, that Kofi Kingston lookalike Reginald, that geek, right? That geek, Reginald, Flippy Gymnastics, Reginald, Mr. Flipping, Reginald, Mr. King Flip, Mr. Reginald, versus Naomi with Lana. We had Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke on at the desk for commentary. We had Reginald get involved. We had the bullshit with Reginald involved. We had We had the chaos with Lana and Reginald and Dana Brooke and Nia Jax. We had Shayna distracted like a dummy. Shayna was knocking Lana off. Shayna Baszler was knocking Lana off the apron on the outside. Naomi rolls up Baszler for the 1-2-3. Naomi beats Shayna Baszler clean. Burn the women's tag team titles. They mean nothing. Abolish the women's tag team titles. Burn those fucking women's tag team titles, man. Burn the women's tag titles. And my God, Shayna Baszler. Oh, but Shayna Baszler, her run on Raw has not been terrible, man. Sure, it's not been terrible. If you think it's not been awful, open your eyes. Shayna Baszler is now a loser on Monday Night Raw. Shayna is now officially a loser on Raw. A loser. Awful. Shayna needs to be off the show. Get Shayna off the show, please. Either move Shayna to SmackDown or move Shayna back to NXT. Do any one of those two things. Just get Shayna off this show. Raw doesn't deserve Shayna Baszler. Awful. And I like Naomi, but my God, Shayna's run on Raw, on the main roster on Raw, has been absolutely fucking horrible. Can you get Shayna off this show? Seriously. Shayna Baszler, NXT, two-time NXT Women's Champion, right? And the longest combined reigning NXT Women's Champion history in NXT is Shayna Baszler. But no, here on Monday Night Raw, she loses clean to Naomi right here on Raw. And I like Naomi, but you have Shayna lose clean here. And you find nothing wrong in that. And can we get Shayna Baszler away from Nia Jax, please? Can we get Shayna away from Nia, please? Nia is just blatantly holding her down. Nia and Reginald are just blatantly holding Shayna Baszler down, man. Awful. Absolutely atrocious in every sense of the fucking word, dude. Seriously. This show doesn't deserve Shayna Baszler. At all. And I like Naomi, but Shayna loses clean here. Bullshit. Just get Shayna off this show. Please. Because Shayna's run on Raw has been absolutely fucking atrocious. Horrible. And then we get the next segment of the show of the night tonight, the contract signing with the Raw Women's Champion Asuka and Rhea Ripley. And before we go over that, I'm taking another sip of my drink as well. We then get the contract signing with Asuka and Rhea Ripley. Adam Pearce is in the ring for the contract signing. He introduces Rhea Ripley to the ring, and then he introduces Asuka. Asuka is telling Ripley that she is overconfident. Ripley says she is confident. She is confident she is going to go to WrestleMania and take Asuka's Raw Women's Championship. Ripley and Asuka then both sign. Asuka then says Ripley's confidence is borrowed, not earned. Ripley then flips the table over on Asuka. It's Ripley, Jax, Baszler, and Reginald then walk out on the stage and complain about not having a Mania match. Jax then challenges Asuka and Ripley to a match next week. Ripley looks down at Asuka and accepts. And then Nia Jax is on the stage, and she does the stomp thing with Ripley's stage entrance that Rhea Ripley does. Nia mocks Ripley with that. Nia says brutality, and Nia Nia Jax did it fucking awful. And Nia Jax did it so fucking terrible. Nia Jax is awful. Nia Jax is absolutely fucking awful, man. Nia is that fucking bad. Oh, but Nia Jax is the irresistible force, man. Sure. Sure she is. How is Nia great and how is Nia the irresistible force when Nia fails miserably at mocking Rhea Ripley? Nia is terrible. Nia Jax is absolutely terrible with everything she does. Nia Jax sucks. Nia Jax sucks. And then now next week for Raw, we then also have and then we also have next week for Raw, Nia and Shayna with Reginald versus Ripley and Asuka. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It wasn't good with Bianca and Sasha versus Bianca and Sasha versus Shayna and Nia with Reginald. It wasn't good with that thing. Do you expect it to be better here? With Ripley and Asuka versus Nia and Shayna with Reginald? Do you expect it to be better here with Nia and Shayna with Reginald? With Nia and Shayna Reginald versus Ripley and Asuka? Expect it to be better. You expect it to be better with that. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It'll be worse with that. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And then we go backstage with MVP. He tells Ricochet that it's about time he started thinking like a businessman. Ricochet says it's not about that. Ricochet is doing this for himself. And then we got Drew McIntyre versus Ricochet. Ricochet attacks Drew McIntyre. McIntyre launches Ricochet high in the air. McIntyre tosses Ricochet all over the ring. Ricochet runs the barricade and lands a drop kick. McIntyre tosses Ricochet all over the ring. Ricochet runs the barricade and lands a drop kick. Ricochet attempts the 630 senton, but McIntyre moves out of the way. McIntyre hits the Claymore for the win. Drew McIntyre beats Ricochet. Right back to Titus Catering you go, Mr. Ricochet. Awful. And then Mustafa Ali then comes out. He blindsides Drew McIntyre from behind. McIntyre then tosses Ali out of the ring. McIntyre then yells for Ali to fight him. And then we get Drew McIntyre versus Mustafa Ali. Ali works over McIntyre's knee. McIntyre fires up and hits the Claymore for the win. Drew McIntyre beats Mustafa Ali. And watch this thing here. Mustafa Ali on his tights with his ring attire with Mustafa Ali. He had no Retribution logo. Retribution is no more. Good. Retribution was a fail from the start. Retribution should have never been Retribution should have never been a thing from the start. Retribution was a fail. If you don't see that, open your eyes. Retribution was a failure. If you don't see that, open your fucking eyes. Retribution was an absolute fail. If you don't see that, open your eyes. McIntyre then grabs a mic and demands Lashley to come out so they can finish this. Lashley then stomps his way out on the stage. Then we go to the break. Then we go to the commercial break. Then after the commercial break, McIntyre and Lashley then go nose to nose. Lashley says the mauling he gave McIntyre at Elimination Chamber is going to pale in comparison to what he does to him at Mania. McIntyre says all Lashley has done is prove that he's afraid of him. Lashley and McIntyre then brawl. McIntyre knocks Lashley out of the ring. SmackDown's Baron Corbin then shows up and he attacks Drew McIntyre from behind. McIntyre then tries the Claymore, but Corbin counters with a deep six. And then Lashley puts McIntyre then in the Hurt Lock after this. And then McIntyre's laid out in the middle of the ring. Corbin and Lashley and MVP stand tall, and then Raw went off the air. This show sucked. It sucked. One of the worst Raws of 2021. Don't even fucking at me. Don't even at me. And how many days left we have left now for until WrestleMania? Like what? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 7. We have less than 2 weeks to go. We have like what? 13, 12. Like we have like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. We have about 12 days left, 12, 13 days around there. Those 12 to 13 days left until WrestleMania. Less than 2 weeks left until WrestleMania. Are you excited about WrestleMania? I'm not. I'm not. Outside of Roman, Edge, and Bryan, I'm not excited for Mania at all. At all. And this show sucked. It sucked. This show sucked balls tonight. One of the worst Raws, if not the worst Raw of 2021. One of the worst Raws in the history of Monday Night Raw. One of the worst Raws in the 30-year history of the show Monday Night Raw. Don't even at me. And don't you even dare defend this show. Don't you even dare defend this show. If you do, you are the root of the issue. You are the root of the issue because you just accept garbage every single Monday. Oh, quit complaining, man. All you do is bitch and moan and complain, man. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Here's a clue. If you don't like what I'm saying, don't watch me and go watch someone else who's going to blatantly lie to your face, not me. You see, people like me and Adam and Joseph Conlon, DJ Storms, people like us, people like JD from NY206, people like Solomonster and Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, people like them and us. We don't bullshit. We don't lie to your faces. We're honest with what we watch. We don't bullshit you. We don't sugarcoat shit. We don't sugarcoat shit at all. There's something good, we praise it. But when there's something bad, we call them out on it. And we give our criticism and opinions and facts and we say what needs to be and we say what needs to be done in order to fix it. That is called being an honest YouTuber and an honest podcaster and showing good critique and showing good criticism. And that also means being a good YouTuber and a good podcaster. If I were to sit here and say this show was good, I wouldn't be doing my job. This show sucked tonight. If I were to sit here and say, hey guys, this show was great tonight. It was great tonight. If I were to sit there and say that, I wouldn't be doing my job. This show sucked cock tonight. This show absolutely sucked tonight. Absolutely awful was Raw tonight. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat this show because this show sucked. This show was so fucking bad tonight. The show was so fucking bad tonight. Not one positive on this show tonight. Outside of two things, and they were not even Raw related. The SmackDown promo package for this Friday, hyping up Edge, Roman Reigns, and Daniel Bryan, and the NXT promo package for this Wednesday night, hyping up Finn Balor and Karrion Kross and Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, and hyping up NXT TakeOver, Stand and Deliver. Only two positives on tonight's show, and they were not even Raw related. The promo packages for NXT and for SmackDown, and that was it. Other than that, and they were not even Raw related. And other than that, this show sucked cock tonight. This show absolutely sucked balls tonight. Raw sucked tonight. If you don't see that, open your eyes. Oh, but it's WrestleMania season, man. This is not WrestleMania season. This is not even Monday. This is not even pro wrestling. This is legit fifth grade. This is legit fifth grade. This is not pro wrestling. It's not pro wrestling. You want pro wrestling? Go watch AEW. Go watch NXT. Go watch NXT UK. Monday Night Raw? That's not pro wrestling. And if you think it's pro wrestling, you're a complete fucking imbecile. Awful. Awful was Monday Night Raw tonight. And Baron Corbin, man. You think Raw's going to be better? Oh, man. Baron Corbin. Is he officially moved to Raw? Is he? If so, Baron Corbin off SmackDown makes SmackDown that much better. Baron Corbin on Raw, if you think Raw is going to be better for it, holy shit. You need some fucking help, man. Baron Corbin on Raw just got that much more fucking worse, man. Awful, awful, awful. Awful Raw tonight. Absolutely atrocious was tonight's Monday Night Raw. And that's your Raw review. That is your Raw review. Thank you guys so much for joining me for the Raw review tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you next time right here in the channel for more good content right here in the channel. And make sure you follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579. Follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiori2014. And make sure you and Facebook, follow me on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiori.31. Add me as a friend on Facebook. If you like, the option's always there for you guys. And be sure you hit a like on the video right here. Be greatly appreciated. Make sure you also subscribe to the Fiore Station YouTube channel as well. Make sure you subscribe to the Fiore Station YouTube channel if you've not done so yet already. And be sure you hit the bell for all notifications as well, so you get notified whenever I'm uploading videos with the channel and onto YouTube, so you get notified and all. So make sure you subscribe to the Fiore Nation YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to the Fiore Nation YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications, and make sure you like the button, and make sure you hit that like button on this very video as well. It would be really greatly appreciated, guys. And that is that. Thank you guys so much for joining me for the Raw review. I really greatly appreciate you all. And thank you guys so much for joining me. And you do mean a lot to me. And thank you guys so much for joining me. And without you guys, I would not even be here. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. And I really greatly appreciate you guys. And thank you guys so much for joining me here for the Raw review. Hope you guys liked the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you had a good time with the video. Hopefully you enjoyed my ranting and Raw. And there was a lot of ranting with this Raw review with Raw tonight. A lot of ranting, rightfully so and deservedly so. Hopefully you liked the video. Hope you guys liked the video, and thank you guys so much for joining me. And I will see you next time right here in the channel for more good content right here on the Fiore Station, right here on the Fiore Station YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you guys later. And thank you. Talk to you guys later.